Hi everyone, welcome to Business Unlocked. We have Josh Visser today from Connect Fitness in Heidelberg region. Josh, tell me a little bit more about Connect Fitness, how it was started, and the dream behind the concept.
Yeah, how's it, Rudy, and everyone listening or watching this later? It's my first, I think, interview since owning the business, so this is a great opportunity and a great privilege, but also you would think we'd be used to being behind screens by now, hey?
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm usually the one giving out orders and do push-ups, do star jumps, do all that kind of stuff. Now, people are giving me the orders, or I'm on the spotlight, so it's a bit different. Yeah, we started officially last year, September, in my garage at our house, obviously. But this has been a sort of a dream, or I struggle to articulate the right word. It's been a dream, it's been an idea, it's been a vision. Kind of when you're falling asleep at night, you think about what you would love your life to look like, kind of thing. Maybe that's a bit too honest, but that's what I've done for many years. And it kind of started in 2012 when I walked into a CrossFit box. That box is still going here in Somerset West, a great place run by good people. And I walked into that CrossFit box, and I was like, this is both the business model. I was a 19-year-old or 18-year-old at that time. So what do I know about business models? But it was the right business model, but something I could really invest into and really understand. And I understood how the gym worked and all of that, but also the whole training aspect of it. It was an excellent training facility, and I was going into sports conditioning at the time. So both those two things appealed to me, because I'm very business minded, but I want it to be an excellent training facility too. The two must correlate, otherwise they're not going to work. But the real thing that caught me was how people walk in there with smiles, or they walk in there with no smile. They leave sweaty, but happier than they were when they walked in. You can see people were building friendships there. Some people got engaged at this place. So just all of that became like, I'm very family oriented too, and friendships and relationships are very important. So that the whole package of what owning a gym like this looked like was something that appealed to me from the get-go, from when I walked in. The energy, the real care and authenticness of the relationships. Obviously, that can be very fake too, but that was something that I saw straight away, and I felt that when I walked into the gym, I was welcomed. It wasn't a commercial experience at all.
Wow.
But life happens, and what's that? Almost 10 years have gone by, 8 years have gone by of me kind of like, yes, I'd love to own a gym one day. I worked in Virgin Active for 3 years, and I've done my qualifications. Would love to do more, but I've done a fair bit of qualifications, and I started this in September last year after leaving my previous job with this. I was like, this is the year I'm going to do it. I was tired of doing something I wasn't in love with and wasn't really working out either. And I took the opportunity. We didn't have any plan or any money or investment, or it was kind of like, I was like, I'm going to give every bit of effort into doing this. And so I trained people in my garage. And that was really means I had to start. I think going to buy or pay rent in a huge premises and think it all, I had a lot to learn. So from September till about December, January, I would train people in my garage. Yeah.
It's almost like those fabled garage stories, right? Like the big businesses that started out in the garage. I know I started my business in a 1-bedroom flat in Pineland. So, and that progression just makes a huge difference when.
I think it's better that way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really teach, because you're able to have these kind of conversations, which is great. And a good friend of ours, the husband and wife, she said to me, what would you like to tell someone or yourself in 10 years? Like, what kind of story would you like to tell? Would you like to tell them that you got R1 million loan, or someone gave you R1 million and you just bought the best of the best? Or would you like to say, I started at my house in my garage, training my closest friends?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that I'm just going to, because at the time I had no idea. I was like, I have this sort of idea, no real business plan on paper, official template of a business plan. But I had the drive and the hunger and the desire to do it. And, that's very important. You can figure the other stuff out, but you need to be committed, and you need to know that this is what you want. So I had that, and then everything else kind of fell into place. But you said, when did you start and all of that? So that was in September, and then till December, we trained in the garage at home, and I built a small client base, but it quickly became clear that this wasn't going to be feasible as an income long term. And also the space was very limited at the time. I didn't have enough space and time to train enough people to earn a good living, and to really grow this into something sustainable. And then, look, a lot happened. If you really want to know the story, it's a long story, but I'm happy to tell it. But a lot happened, and we ended up moving to a venue, got in some investors for equipment, took out some savings, took a bit of a risk financially too, and took the clients we had, and we moved into a building 4 months after starting in a garage, and we got a 250 square meter premises now, and is it 250 or 280 square meter premises now with full equipment. And yeah, we've been open 2.5 months of our 6-month lease so far because of lockdown. That's a question for just now, I think.
It's interesting. The facility looks really nice. I've seen the photographs, and it's such, your person goes through a steep learning curve when you're just starting a business, and you did grow quite fast, quite quickly in a sense. But you know what I like most about your story is that the modern consumer identifies with people's stories. We've moved away from this idea where we're loyal to brands. We're loyal to human beings, So if people can connect with that story, I think, and I feel already like I can connect with that story, I think you've got a lot of sustainability and long-term growth in the future.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Your business is such an infancy stage, and now you have to face this crazy situation. How has it affected your business in a direct manner? You've just said like the premises.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a great question, and it's a question I've had to answer before lockdown, or like kind of when you find out about how is this going to affect our business, and then during lockdown, how is it affecting our business, and what are we going to do about it? And I think when you own a gym, you can answer that question: how is it affecting my business? But it's more about how is this affecting my members. Both for them personally, but also you. At the end of the day, they pay me to give them a service. They may be some of my friends, or they may respect me and like me. I may have just met a member a week before lockdown happened, so I don't know them too well at that stage. But whatever sort of relationship I have with them, I at the end of the day have to pay them. I have to give them a service for their money. And lockdowns obviously changed that game or that spectrum completely. So lockdowns have affected our business. Affect sounds negative, right? But it's affected our businesses in the sense that we've had to, and this is the entire fitness industry, I guess, but you've had to change your whole product. You've had to diversify and adapt to the current conditions. And these are all arbitrary or like, pie in the sky words kind of thing, unless you really put action into it and be like, how am I going to still keep my identity, but go onto the platform that's available to everyone. So for us, I had to change the whole product, and I had to really go online quickly in a way that makes people comfortable with the transition, prepares them for the transition, and then equips them to use the product, which is what we had to do. But also from a financial point of view, we were just about making expenses. Like I said, we were 2 months old when lockdown happened. So we were just about making rent and all of that. And then so a very important part of our business is coffee and hanging out afterwards and hanging out at the gym and things like that. Kind of a few days before lockdown happened, our coffee shop, we partnered with people at the coffee shop. They unfortunately said they were closing down. So that's a huge part of our rent. Obviously, they're paying towards the rent. That's a huge part of the rent. I completely understand why they did it. It made sense at the time. But that's a huge, where am I going to find this X amount of money every month now? And also you can't charge your members the same fee for the service. Well, that was my thinking in the beginning. But fortunately enough, we and then obviously you can't trade, you can't practice every day. So that the momentum of your business, especially a small business, that momentum that I want to grow every month, but as a business owner of this business, it's not like I knew my product exactly either. You're 2 months old, you kind of figure this whole thing out. You practicing every day kind of thing. It's dress rehearsal almost every day, and you're constantly growing and equipping yourself and like, okay, this is who we are now. And in 2 months you can figure that out. And you see quick growth in the beginning, personally, and how the business functions, and that obviously gets a knock straight away with lockdown. That stops. So that was a big thing for us. Is like, okay, what does this look like now? How are we going to sustain ourselves and grow? Because for us, in this infancy stage, we got you're not making expenses yet. In the first year of a business, you've invested 50,000 rand in equipment, and you've got rent of X amount, a good portion of rent every month. But so it's affected our business in a sense that we've had to think on our feet and really put systems in place, which I think is one of maybe a question you're going to ask me just now. But really, like, try and go online or go onto a platform that keeps our identity, that gives our members a great service, and also keeps them happy, but it also keeps the gym growing and the community together. And that's something which has been a huge, amazing experience for us. Is the online community which we've developed on our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening classes. It's been incredible to see the faithfulness and the dedication that our members have to our gym. I mean, everyone's paying memberships. Most people are paying their memberships still. The product is to them worth the fee, or at least they dedicated to this community and seeing it grow and seeing it survive this uncertain time.
Well, I mean, we've seen in the way that the modern people engage with businesses that we often as business owners have a very traditional approach to the way we see our own business. And then as we're forced to innovate, we see how easy it is for our clients and to just transition because they're used to it, but we're not used to repackaging our business services in a continuous, perpetual way. So I've seen some of the Zoom stuff that you do with the clients, and it seems really exciting. And in the past few years, the online fitness industry has really taken off. I think with people's reduced amount of time, availability of time, willingness to go somewhere, it really changes the scope of things.
It's amazing what you can do when you're forced to do it.
Exactly.
How has it affected our business? Well, we've now got an online platform,
yes.
which I hope to take into the gym long term. For people who can't come to the gym's location, we can sign in on a live feed and be in a class. One of the other ways it's affected the business is either to like I said, maintain your membership stream and keep them happy, and kind of engage with them and show them the value that your product still has. Because now it's gone from I go to that gym to online classes, which are some are free. You can find free online classes on YouTube or Facebook Live of certain athletes or influencers, whatever you want to call them. But then there's hundreds of thousands of trainers online who are offering Zoom classes for certain different amounts of money per class or per month. So you've kind of like got to swim in a big pond, but at the same time you got to stick to your course and maintain your identity and maintain your community. And that's, like you said in the beginning, that's how business grows and that's how business survives. Is people invest in the person behind the business. You'll pay a little bit more for a pizza if you know the owner and the owner greets you, and a pizza place that's right around the corner from your house that never say hello when you walk through the front door, kind of thing.
Of course, clients always feel like there's more value when they're paying for something. I've done training courses over the past years where I've done free training courses and then I've offered a payment. And when somebody's committed and they've paid for it, always feels like they find more value because there's a certain element of commitment when you purchase a product as opposed to just browsing the internet and finding a whole lot of random people on YouTube to train you. Now this can give you a lot of sustainability, having multiple platforms, also multiple streams of income, because if you're looking into the long term and past COVID-19, there's definitely going to be a certain amount of those people who want to continue online as opposed to coming to the premises all the time. So it kind of opens up a few more possibilities. As opposed to seeing the negative effects, you can see the positive outcomes in your business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, we've seen lots of positives. I mean, from a business point of view, I think the effects are more physiological. We can't be there. We can't sort of drive our business from that location. Obviously, you're not getting people walking in off the street going, "Hey, let's check this gym out. We see the sign outside," kind of thing. But from the situation we're currently in, I can only give positives. I can only praise our loyal members for their commitment and their dedication to really each other. They're following up with each other for classes. They notice when someone's not there. They greet. There's just smiles on the other side of the screens. But
it's
also
a level of accountability between them.
Yeah. I mean, they really, you become part of people's lives. As a trainer, and as a gym owner in a sense, it's really fast track the community aspect of our business. The big driver for me is to grow this business from a community point of view, that you want to see people, propose to each other in this place. You want to see people build relationships and really become connected. I mean, it's in the name, connected with each other and connected with the community. There's a very powerful thing, training together and going through this hard workout, that the physiological response to that, but also the lessons that teaches you. You then have a cup of coffee together afterwards and you talk about your tough marriage, or your teenager. It really puts people down and helps them to open up.
Well, thank you very much, Josh. I really appreciate your time. I think you not only provide us with information, but you inspired us as well.